Well, hello everyone. How are all of you? So today we're going to be doing some more raid unlocks. Wasn't what I had planned for today. But it's what I've got on the table. Because I'm still not ready with Final Fantasy Tactics yet. Still got a lot of uh, level grinding to do. So we're going to work on unlocking the Eden raids. One of the Crystarium guards is particularly relieved to have found you. Have you seen Reen? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go and get her. There you are. The truth is, I need your help. Now hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. After you defeated Emmett Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light somewhere far to the south. In the empty. The lands that were once swallowed by the flood. I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Ow. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Orange, and I have a few theories that we plan to test once we find whatever's causing this. The three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. Thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it'd be a good idea to have you there, just in case. So, will you come with us? Wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, this means a lot. First of all, let's head to the Derrick and Almarang. Thancred and Orange should have everything ready by now. But I mean, apparently for everything that the current strategy has provided with to use to get through that one part of Final Fantasy Tactics we got stuck on, I need Ninja, which I just acquired here earlier today, and Move plus 3, which apparently comes from Bard, which you have to unlock Summoner, which I need to look up how to unlock Summoner. I hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here. I doubt they posed any sort of challenge to her. Would that I could say the same with confidence, but whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Rean sends turns out to be nothing of consequence, the Empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that can survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-blasted wasteland poses as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation. Though, for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Rean's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation. There will be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Is the Sky Slipper ready, Thancred? Ready to take us wherever we need to go. Aye, back again too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. Though the light has been expunged from Norvrent, the ambient ether of the Empty is still corrupted, dangerously so, in fact. The flood of light devastates everything in its wake, the soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. It is due to this imbalance that the Empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. That's why we're taking every possible precaution. Between the thermometers I've packed and Rean's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that and we risk becoming sin-eaters. Since we still don't know how Chugbo's and Amaro will fare in the Empty, we opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order. It's quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. He seemed quite eager to see what we bring back from the Empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Mordsuk at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word. Yep, I'm ready. Well then, shall we? With a name like the Empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery, but this is downright depressing. To look on the land swallowed by the flood with my own eyes is a chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of this world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the Warriors of Darkness and Menphelia. Rean, are you sure we're heading in the right direction? Yes, I'm certain. There's no telling how far away it is, though. Nothing for it but to keep going, then. You two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've a good few malms ahead of us. Might as well enjoy the nothingness. Well, I mean, usually life does find a way, so I'm rather surprised that it's just so empty. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it sleeping? No, it's waking up. I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden? No, I don't think so. Something filled with light. It is light. The first Sin Eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mystery surrounding the flood of light, to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. Or single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the flood, the very foe Menphelia vanquished a century ago. She gave everything she had, and won. But this abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is oft said that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Reen, knowest thou of what I speak? The power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature for what was once shattered may be forged anew. That's all well and good, but don't think we should give it a name first? Eden. Utopian Fae, a most auspicious title. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up camp. I even brought a couple of tents on the off chance, but pitching the damn things is different. It's something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? I never realized that putting up tents could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. I think we should be back from scouting the area soon. Once it's here, we can plan our next move. Ah, that sounds like some Final Fantasy VIII music. During... Deploy the core. Reen waits anxiously for Thancred to return from surveying the vicinity. I wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Ah, there he is. Well, that was rather uneventful. Not that I'm complaining. Did you find anything? No, thankfully there's naught but barren plains in every direction. Apart from Eden, obviously, I tried approaching it and the brute didn't even seem to notice me. Thought best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew. We should act now before it's fully awake. Meaning what exactly? When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of ether. Of course, that meant that all the plants, animals, and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled to dust in the years since. But the ether's still here, lying dormant. If Eden is the one that caused it, mayhap it can get it flowing again. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the empty. Now, hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible? And how do you expect to control that kind of power? Reen's aspirations may not be as preposterous as thou dost surmise. I believe Menphilia halted the flood of light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. And in so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. Aye, as Menphilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Reen doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden. But such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou, Illusion? Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try. Very well. Reen, you've made up your mind, so how should we go about this? I have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that the light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core? That giant talus had a core too, like a beating heart. It controlled the flow of ether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we could use it to restore the etheric balance. The theory is certainly sound. By employing Ethernet shards as beacons, mayhap we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in so doing secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must needs first have Reen study the entity's interior and chart us a suitable course. Once we have reached our destination, I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden, and mayhap exert a measure of control over it. You can really do that, Oriange? All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning aetherology. Although I'm certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology. Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around in its innards for want of a better term. In all seriousness though, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you had best lead the way? It's true that she's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on her any more than we have to. Yes, I haven't forgotten what happened when she absorbed too much light, but as Alice said, Making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. Now, I wish I could put down wardens myself, but the simple fact is, I can't, and there's no point pretending I can. That's why I am asking Illusion. Then perhaps I could... You already have a job to do, remember? You already have a job to do, remember? The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand and guide us to the core. Not only that, you'll have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. Are you sure you want to go through with this? This is what I do best. I won't let you down. Though we will remain here, Rean and I shall do our utmost to guide thee along the ethereal stream. After thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear they may be somewhat less reliable than those to which thou art accustomed. Well, I need to empty my inventory a little bit here. Still not worth anything. Should wait. Is there anything in my inventory that I don't want to sell? No, everything can go. not worth enough to bother with. Not worth anything, so. Oh, we'll go show adjust the prices of everything in here first. So 6. Got a lot of Arachneweb up there for sale. Okay, so unfortunately those are worthless. A lot of this stuff hasn't sold. Don't think it'll sell for that, but only one way to actually try to get anything for it. Be careful, huge amounts of ether are rushing to the core. Wait, what's that? I did not make it there in time. Pretty late show. It seems that Thancred's predictions about there being some sort of guardian was right. Thankfully, it was nothing that you couldn't handle. I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Ethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Once RNJ has activated the device, it's my turn. The time hath come, Marine. Watch over me, Menphelia. Is this supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Oriange. I am unharmed, but what of Reen? No, you listen to me. She's like, look here. We're going to do things my way, and that's just the way it's going to be. Excuse me. Rain appears to have recovered from her battle of wills with Eden. It worked. I'm in control now, I think. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now, thou art... Rain, what's going on? Above us. Something's coming this way. An enemy? But how dost thou... Could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but... No, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside too. Lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guests, eh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied up the place. Japes are a poor substitute for a viable stratagem. In that case, I suggest that you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. An illusion can welcome our airborne adversary. Rain, find out if Eden has any defenses we can make use of, preferably ones that don't recognize us as the enemy. I'm not sure about that, but I can use the Aether Currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. Alright, everyone, we've got work to do. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. Let's see, what do I need to buy here while we're waiting? Where can we get that? Okay. I think I know where that's at. Oh yeah, I never finished. This is one of the many areas I've not finished Flight in yet. Well, I'm not even sure I can necessarily... I don't know, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I don't have the equipment yet to do it. I don't know if I have any scripts at the moment, but well, I do. Do they not have gloves? Oh, I already have better. Oh wait, those are... Those are going away here in a moment. I mean, it doesn't look like that guy walks anywhere. I mean, if you had some flying thing that would just fly you around and anywhere you wanted to go, would you? Just carries you? Oh, it's on delay. It took me a moment to realize what was going on there with that. Oh, is this where they're just saying, like, talk to the hand? Hand wanted to talk to me again. I showed it my backside. Thank goodness you're unharmed. We came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch and quite unlike anything I've seen in the first. No, I won't let you. Damn the light. Damn you all. Who are you? What do you want? Why am I here? What is happening? She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether. She didn't seem too pleased with Rean taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. To explain she's not a Sin Eater, not even in part as Vothri was. Yet this knowledge is little to assuage my fears, for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling uncooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. I'll keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what will happen when she does. But I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm at the very least. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp. Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden. Although I had my hands full trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle. That power, I've never seen anything like it. What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which Voidsent may enter. But pray tell, Rean, didst thou make any other observations? I couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. And I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmett Selk. Though I think it unlikely that she is an Ascian, she may yet be thralled to Zodiark. Maybe we'll be able to find out more once she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. It seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning, and that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery. Rean's newly formed bond with Eden's core has led to a surprising discovery. I feel a lot more confident in my ability to control Eden now. Of course, this is only the beginning. And we shall accompany thee with wheresoever this path may lead. But pray tell, what manner of discovery hast thou made? I understand how Eden's powers work, and therefore the true nature of the flood of light. Yes, it affected the balance of all the ether in the empty, shifting it so far towards the umbral that it stopped flowing altogether. The power to tip the scales. And to tip them back again, that's what Eden does. It controls the balance of ether over a wide area, forcing it from one alignment to the other. Left alone, it still poses a threat, but if I can harness its power, I think I could use it to breathe life back into the empty. Trouble is, I haven't the foggiest idea of where to start. And if I go about this the wrong way, I'll do more harm than good. Thou needst not bear this burden alone, Reen, nor should thou. 'Tis no simple matter of awakening that which lies dormant. All things in nature are inextricably linked. The elements maintain a fragile harmony without which life cannot prosper. So what should we do? A solution hath begun to take shape in my mind, though it will require further discussion. For the time being, let us return to the camp. It would be remiss of us not to involve Thancred. My pretty fox ears. My friends, I believe I have struck upon a method by which we may see this world restored. Oriange, before you go any further, allow me to make a potentially very long story slightly short. The plan is to control Eden and realign the ether of the empty, right? In essence, yes. However, unleashing elemental energies haphazardly will not suffice. In addition, the empty is unfathomably vast. Were we only able to effect change over one small region at a time, it would take many lifetimes to complete even a fraction of our task. Instead, our energies would be better spent revitalizing each element in order, that we might set in motion a more widespread transformation. One at a time? I can say this, but I don't think Eden will be able to draw out a single element without affecting the others. For that very reason, we shall select a location which the ambient ether we wish to restore is at its most potent. Even in a dormant state, certain elements will be more prevalent and therefore more easily manipulated. Then we rebalance the ether and return it to the land, whereupon it shall be borne on ethereal currents to the farthest reaches of the empty. But what's to prevent that element from breaking free of Eden's hold and causing a disaster of some sort? It must needs to be contained. The question is how. Indulge me a moment, if thou wouldst. Pray can imagine a corporeal manifestation of each of the elemental individual elements. What dost thou see in thy mind's eye? Moogles? Mayhap thou art feared to utter the fateful word, for to even speak the name primal is to invite misfortune. Though invite it we must. As the ether is drawn forth and realigned by Eden, we shall perform a summoning as Master Louis Swall once stayed on the fields of Carteneau. As one who hath laid low countless primals, thy memories will shape the ether into a deiform entity, which must subsequently be dispersed in the traditional fashion. So, defeat it, in other words, but is that even possible? Yeah, we eat primals for breakfast. Lest thou forget, 'twill be no more than an approximation of a foe thou hast previously bested. I have every confidence in thine abilities. As do I, though it might help to have some idea of what you'll be up against. Have you decided which element to tackle first? I propose water, the source of all life. As for location, an area to the west of Norvrant was once home to the world's deepest ocean. Alas, the flood of light reduced it to a yawning chasm. Water, yes, that seems like a good choice. I'll see if Eden can take us where we need to go. And I shall prepare for the summoning. Thancred, wouldst thou keep watch over our enigmatic antagonist? She may have vital information to impart in the event that she becometh agitated. Thou mayest have need to restrain her. Someone's got to do it, I suppose. I'll be praying to you for your success while I wait here, twiddling my thumbs. So, I must say, I don't envy you being caught up in yet another one of Orange's madcap schemes. Though come to think of it, if the creature you must fight is born from your own memories and imagination, why don't you try thinking of something a bit tamer than the primals you fought in the past? Perhaps that's not how it works. Anyway, best of luck. Eden seems to be responding well to my instructions, so we should reach our destination in no time at all. Alright, this is a place. I'll see if I can draw out the water-aspected ether. The rest is up to you. Memories of Leviathan come flooding back. Okay. Leviathan certainly looks different. I barely made it, but I made it. I didn't get the orchestrion roll. That was incredible. Is that what a primal looks like? Oh, not quite the same then, but why is that? The Leviathan of the Source was summoned by the Sahagin, to whom he was no less than a god. Without their faith, the deiform entity that we brought into existence differed on a fundamental level. Though it was no less formidable. The manifestation relied upon illusions experiences of Leviathan, and may have been influenced by recollections of other water-aspected beings, leading to further discrepancies. Memories brought to life. But I still can't tell if our plan actually worked. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. How goes it? If you finish slaying your primal or whatever it is, I suggest you get back here on the double. There's something you ought to see. What could that be? Evidently, our only recourse is to return to our base of operations forthwith. Illusion, look! By the Twelve's good grace, 'tis a marvel to behold. I never thought that a whole lake would suddenly appear like this. And you're just only getting started. I only hope that burden is not too much for you. Rain and Orange are considering the next step in the plan to reclaim the empty. I think this proves that the water aspect of the ether is no longer lying dormant. So which element should we realign next, Orange? I propose Earth. Should we succeed in returning the soil's life-giving energy, the empty shall become capable of supporting the growth of flora. Imagine that, forests in the empty. But before we begin, I'd like to know how that girl is doing. Still sound asleep. She didn't so much as stir even when I took her helmet off. I thought it might be getting a bit stuffy in there. I was curious to know what sort of person we're dealing with. She seems surprisingly normal. Not at all like our usual Voidsent. I'd say she's around the same age as you, Reen. Perhaps a little older. Well, whoever she is, we should let her rest while we concentrate on the task at hand. As much as I'd love to go with you, I'd best stay here in case she wakes up and is feeling less than cooperative. And while I wait here wishing I had something to read, my thoughts will be with you as you fly off to face the next opponent. It must be a strange feeling to bring something into existence through your own willpower, only to slay it immediately after. I almost feel sorry for the poor things. All the same, I wish you luck. If all goes well, he won't be waiting for long. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can see the results. Now, before we embark on our journey, there's one question I feel I should ask. Where are we going? I would suggest a certain region that lieth east of Norvrant, which was once home to the great Mount Atlas. And for the Earth-aspected primal we should invoke, what could be more fitting choice than Titan? I don't think I've heard of that one. What's it like? The landslides! The landslides! Seems like you had a rather traumatic experience. But if our last battle is anything to go by, this one will be different from the Titan that Illusion remembers, yes? Aye, it would be wise to consider the two as entirely separate beings. As such, thou must needs conceive new strategies if thou art to triumph in the battle to come. Past experience will avail you thee not, I fear. Alright, once you're ready, we'll be on our way. It took a while, but we finally arrived. Ready, Illusion? Oh, well, that one was quick. Character of Crags. Titan. I mean, he certainly got a new look, that's for sure. Excuse me. This one was a real pain in the ass. Because he does crap like that. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. I wonder, was the Titan of your world a tough opponent too? Yeah, I got knocked off a lot back in the day. So all it would take is a momentary lapse of concentration. I don't like the sound of that. But more importantly, you defeated other elemental beings, which means you're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. Can't wait to see how much of a difference you've made this time. Did we really do all of this? Well, it looks like the ground started to get some color back. It would appear that balance has returned to the element of Earth, and yet... The transformation hath affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. 'Tis passing strange indeed. Did we do something wrong? Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, 'tis plain our efforts were not in vain. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is the result of an intersection of ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty have undergone comparable alterations. Then the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of. Reen. The next piece of the puzzle. Reen appears to have been overcome by exhaustion. It's nothing. That didn't look like nothing to me. You'd better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Nay, Thancred hath the right of it. 'Twould be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Reen, thou knowest not the strain thou dost place on thyself. Though the elements of water and earth have been restored, continued exposure to the empty, stagnant ether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Pray do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first two elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyze our findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why, I thought they'd welcome the news. And indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. Nevertheless, this mission is one of surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk unless absolutely necessary. You have their best interests at heart, I'm sure, but to be perfectly honest, I'd prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. It seems to me that Reen isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our Sleeping Beauty would likely fare better in more hospitable surroundings. We'll need to have our associates from the Crystarium organize a safe place for her to stay. If you and Illusion could go ahead and have a word with them in Mordsuk, we'll catch up with them with you once Urianger has finished. Whatever it is he needs to do. Perhaps thou too shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. No, not this time. She comes such a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. We won't be staying in the First forever. The time will come for Rean and I to part ways, and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Urianger. I see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can. And to her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Rean is possessed of a natural affinity for aetherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. A natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though, come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. However, like thee, she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. Says the master, keeping his cards close to his chest. Anyway, Illusion, you better take the Sky Slipper with Rean. It's true that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you ready for the challenges that lie ahead, so go on and get some rest. We shall await news of thy safe arrival in Amarang. Seemed like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Well, if you say so, I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So you want to take first shift piloting, or shall I? Glad I had you there to keep me company. I've no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. Before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. When I first spoke to Thancred and Urianger about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we've found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? Why is she being controlled or forced her to act against her will? Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person like you or me. Obviously she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her. Find out who she is, and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. What's to say she won't try it again when she wakes up? If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it'll be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do? I see what you mean. Perhaps we've been able to come to an understanding, things wouldn't have ended the way they did. I hope that she's nothing like Emmett Selk, but we won't know until we speak to her. Till then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see Urianger's errands. The people we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper, most of the apparatus we've been using. And since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Excuse me. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Ghoul Ghoul, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Oh, Rean, what a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. Sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. I'd like you to meet Luri. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I'm here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. I'll be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably best not to talk about in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here. You should get some rest. Before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, and if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Got 5 of each, so we'll just go with that one. I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Rean and Illusion until we know more. Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. The Oracle of Darkness. I pray it is not true. Why not? It's kind of necessary. If you have an oracle of light, you need to balance it with an oracle of darkness. And vice versa. Away with the fairy. Yolford has arrived in Mortsuit bearing impertinent information. Ah, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the, highly classified and very, very secret thing. The fact of the matter is, I've come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Yolfort an illusion too? We heard the news from Thancred, is it true? Why, yes, it most certainly is. Apparently her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yomor, although she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. She's lost her memory? Parts of it, at the very least. We also can't be sure whether she's telling the truth or if it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. And Thancred's with her now, is he? Yes, he's taking her to Yolmor, mainly to verify what she's told us so far, quiz the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I'd anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. After that, the plan is to come back. Good grief, are you always this slow? At this rate, it'll be dark again before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it does make each day seem awfully short. And are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got a purpose, would you? Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? Thancred, you're back. You lot are a sight for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Oriange. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yolmor. I'm glad we could finally meet, properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than that, where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbors barely knew the first thing about her. Hell, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yolmor is patchy at best. But she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. And for her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. If you insist on staying around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Then perhaps we should have chosen more sensible footwear. Still, it's not such a bad idea, shall we? So if you don't remember anything at all, not attacking us, not falling unconscious... Such selective amnesia would rightly raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. Yeah, if she doth speak the truth, it would lend credence to my current hypothesis, though admittedly some further. Not now, Oriange. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After much deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty. As a sign of goodwill, after all, trust works both ways. Though I'd ask you not to let your guard down just yet. So you're the one I was supposed to have fought. Come to think of it, I recognize you from somewhere. Maybe I just have one of those faces? Or perhaps you just didn't make much of an impression. But to be honest, I do feel that since meeting you, those hazy memories have become slightly clearer. It's like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realize those things actually happened. It's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Thou speakest as though thou didst expect these events. I guess you'd say that. It's what the fairy tells me. I can see it, but it's as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. It whispers to me and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. And this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayest call forth the ether-starved denizens of what remaineth of the 13th? What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words at me? Honestly, I don't know how you all put up with this. I've only just met him, and his insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. Gods, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation. To think that I was flying about in a suit of armor waving a sword, that doesn't sound like me at all. Someone else inside you? Like Menphilia was inside me. Aye, the similarities cannot be ignored. Though it is too early to say with certainty. Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? It means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with them itself. Those who have been used as living hosts by Nassine have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession. This I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself even when she heard the voice within, much like you and Menphilia. And though Reen was very much her own person, Menphilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of our dear departed friend. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. But I was born like this, and my parents, they both had black hair too. Or at least I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them, I can't remember too well. But enough about me. You're Manfili, aren't you? The Oracle of Light? Who they were hosting in Yulmore? That's right, though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yulmore and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. I see. And how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it all started when... Yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad and Lord Vothry fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. From what guys told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us, but how was she able to resist Vothry's control? Mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. As furious as that may be, we still don't know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as the Eden took flight. This is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy reacted to it in some way, and for whatever reason made me go after it. Yes, that seems like the only explanation. I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. But what? But why? The fairy wants something from Eden. Knowing what that is will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat. So I'm going, and that's that. Gaia, wait! Insufferable, utterly insufferable, and yet we can't well leave her to her own devices. Come on. So I at least got all the ones that I need to collect from here. Get away from me. Gaia! Seems I've no choice. What's she doing? What'd she do? Whatever it is, it doesn't seem to have cared. Or... okay. She just had a time delay to making it go poof. What am I? What are you all gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I see magic like that. So this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it was whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. But there are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armor appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all is the dark energy that comes from inside. This power feels as though it's only flowing through me and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for the spells to work. So in summer, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. Unfortunately, it's part and parcel of traveling through Amarang, and while I understand that you want answers, you're not going to find them unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. Rean, think about what you're saying. You're seriously considering taking Gaia to see Eden? There's no telling what might happen if she loses control again. So the safest option is for her to stay away until our work is done. Somewhere where we can keep an eye on her. You must realize it's for her own good. I must concur with Thancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origins, and less still of her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. And full knowledge of the risks, dost thou still wish to pursue this course? I do. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good, too. But if we shut Gaia away for our own convenience, we're no better than Vothri and Ranjit. I've learned that when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. Now it's my turn to do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Well, can't say fairer than that. How about you, Urianger? The light of thy spirit doth burn bright. Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice us to say thou hast left no room for doubt. For what it's worth, Rean, I never doubted you, but make no mistake. The danger that Urianger and I spoke of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be all right there beside you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I can't care less who I travel with, but if we're going to go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the southern watchtower, yes? Come along then, and don't fall behind. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze with the five of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Orange can sit on top of our luggage? So there it is. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. The bringer of the flood, the first sin eater, would it lead me to my past or my future? What awaited on the path ahead, I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. Guess we're reading like our journal? At least that's what that read kind of like. Gaia is lost in thought as she gazes towards the silent giant on the horizon. I know what it's like. It was the same for me. But I was lucky because Thancred freed me from Yulmore, and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people, and they taught me not to live in another's shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day we'll have the chance to. Said your piece, have you? I. One day? What's that supposed to mean? I don't know how the great Oracle of Light sees such things. But for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow, there was no future, only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time, it won't wait, not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia, that's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me my name, I couldn't remember. That's when the fairy whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, surely someone there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew had either disappeared or had been turned into sin eaters. Those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognized me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most sociable person, but still. Well, even if it's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I'll call you. And if you're willing, instead of the Oracle of Light, please call me Ren. It's not the name I was born with. That's long forgotten now. But the one the people who I consider family gave to me. Is that so? Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far, nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that it appeared out of the blue. Perhaps if you were to actually try flying it somewhere, the fairy might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore or whatever it was, why don't you hurry up and get it over with? You need to learn some fucking manners. And you need to stop wasting my time. Alright everyone, I think we've talked in love for long enough. If we're ready, let's make our way to Eden. Following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the empty hath displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability some may call this and be satisfied, but in truth it is passivity. A passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst. A third element that shall rouse and stabilize those unleashed energies and activity. Therefore, I propose lightning. So the primal would be Ramuh, yes? From what I've heard, he's a guardian of the forest and not particularly keen on conflict. But you've actually fought him, haven't you? Half man, half beard, another half beard. Ah yes, Thancred mentioned that he was more closely resembles a person than a beast. Unlike most other primals, and apparently he tends not to move about much. I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say, if you want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I should picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try, but the rest is up to illusion. In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than sitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't you get this blasted thing moving first? One must admit the suggestion is not without merit, Reen. I suggest the Gandalf Thunder Plains as our next location. These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds. The only source of illumination the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether that lingereth there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. Then that's where we're heading. Come on, Eden. We've got a job to do. This should be a good spot, as good a spot as any. Alright, Illusion, whenever you're ready. I'll be right back. That feels so much better. Had to get up and get a back stretcher, so my back needed some attention. Make sure I've actually got the best gear equipped to all my classes. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. It's like, wait a minute, are there seriously no fates anywhere on the map? That can't be right. Oh, I don't have any Geisel greens? Holy shit. When the fuck did I run out of those? I'll have to buy some more. Just a moment here. Okay, thank you for holding there for a moment. You have Geisel greens. Can't believe I'm out. What? No. How though? Huh. Well. Fuck. How can you not have Geisel greens? Well, it don't matter at the moment.
There's no turning back. Get ready!
So, this is Ramuh.
Nice, get some voice acting. Interesting look for Ramuh. A winged centaur. Does it look like those might have gotten larger as time went on? Oh, I died there. Good idea I moved out of that lane. Surge protection is always good. Ooh. Died. That's no good. Oh, but it's already raised back up. Cool. Some healers on the ball already. I thought I was prepared to expect anything, but I didn't expect Ramuh to turn out quite like that. Appearance aside, he was quite aggressive as well. The Sylphs believe in him as a kindly guardian clearly makes a difference to his temperament. Anyway, I'm just glad it's over. Let's get back to the camp and see if anything's changed. The crystal's a different color, but apart from that, it all looks the same. I may look the same eye, but it feels different. The air has grown slightly more humid, as it does before rain. I have to say, I'm not exactly prepared for wet weather. If Eden can control elements and so on, can't you tell it to send those clouds somewhere else? Speaking of which, I'm not very impressed with its so-called powers. If changing yellow crystals to purple is the extent of its abilities, it's no surprise the fairy didn't bother showing up. I hope that whatever's next is more worthwhile. Rather than influencing the ground beneath our feet, Eden hath brought change to the firmament above. And yet it is clear that a more dynamic element is required for the natural cycle of precipitation and evaporation to be complete. So we need movement. Would wind do the trick? Most certainly. It seems we have a plan. Let's not dwell too much on the effects of each individual element and instead focus on seeing them all restored. The power of an oracle. Not to be sniffed at, it seems. All my life you are a constant companion, your voice ever seeping into my mind. Why then of all times did you abandon me? Deaf even to the crashing of thunder, or are you simply biding your time? Into the firestorm. Ere we set out once more, might I ask if thou art familiar with the process by which rain is made to fall? It's an elegant conspiracy. Sir, it would not be beyond the elegance to manipulate the weather, if such is thy suggestion, but it's naturally occurring phenomena that I would speak. I don't know. I just couldn't help it. It was just too ludicrous of an answer. The restoration of our first element, the empty, was once more blessed with the most essential ingredient in the cycle of precipitation: water. Under normal circumstances, the heat existent in the atmosphere would cause water to evaporate from the land's surface. As invisible vapor, it is borne by the wind high into the firmament, where it doth condense as clouds before descending once more, returning to the land in the form of rain. And it seems we need wind-aspected ether to create more clouds. That it hasn't rained yet must mean there aren't enough. And even before that, we need fire-aspected ether to make the water evaporate. Seems to me that one's not much good without the other. Why don't you just draw out both elements together? You're suggesting that Illusion fight two deiform entities, each one as deadly as Ramuh, at the same time. Do you realize how absurd that is? And yet, it is a notion that doth warrant further consideration. Oh, you can't be serious. Cast your minds, if you will, to the elemental wheel I did show you to you in the bookman's shelves. Wind giveth rise to lightning, whose spark doth produce fire. By restoring both wind and fire in tandem, we may maintain balance between these dynamic elemental forces. Thus, the ensuing battle shall indubitably present an ordeal unlike any illusion hath ever faced. I believe, however, that this path doth lead to the prize we seek. Oh, so perhaps it's not so absurd after all, eh, Thancred? I won't dream of questioning Urianger's grasp of science behind it. My concern is for the burden this would place not only on Illusion, but Reen as well. What do you both make of the plan? If Oriange thinks it'll work, I'm willing to give it a try. As long as you know what you're letting yourselves in for, you're going to need all your strength, so see that you get plenty of rest. Gaia. Wouldn't be willing to cheer up rather than rally, but nah, whatever. Yes, you're right. There's no use in trying to pilot Eden while I've got other things on my mind. It's about Gaia, you see. The truth is that apart from Alice and Alphino, I hardly know anyone my own age. I thought that I should make an effort to be nice to Gaia, but well, you've seen how she is around me. I understand that she's got her own problems to deal with, but I thought that mayhap I could help her in some way. It's not my place to intrude, and I should probably just leave her be until we finish restoring the elements after all. That's more important, isn't it? Let me talk to Gaia while you concentrate on the task at hand. Is what I would have said once upon a time. It seems that you're the one best qualified to take care of this little problem. I know she can be a bit prickly, to put it mildly, but if anyone can get through to her, it's you. Although we've only known her for a short while, we're all she's got, and I think she realizes that. Just let her know she's not alone, and she'll come around eventually. Alright, I'll give it a try. Do you have any advice? Though I am proficient in many tongues such as Fey, I cannot claim to be as well versed in the parlance of the younger generation. Their predilections and intonations are a mystery as I have yet to unravel. Is that inclinations? It's just not very well spaced between the C and the L. I don't know much about it either, but I believe I have a plan. Before she even woke up, I've been asking Lynn about what's popular in the Crystarium. That might be nice to show Gaia around the place one day, you see. So that's what you were doing. I suppose it makes for a nice change of pace from all that studying. And I must commend thee on thy choice of confidant. The captain's powers of observation maketh her a veritable font of wisdom concerning the behavior of the Crystarium citizenry. Yet now it's time to put that knowledge to good use. Don't let the fear of rejection hold you back. Persistence is the key. Speaking from experience by any chance? Whatever do you mean? Lessons learned from days spent in pursuit of ladies fair, one might suspect. God, you couldn't help yourself, could you? It's alright, Thancred. Your secret's safe with me. May I remind you that the reason we're here is to create a better future for everyone in the First, which includes you and Gaia? While it may not be on the scale of bringing life back to the empty, if you're able to befriend her, there will be another way of contributing to a brighter tomorrow. So go on. She's waiting for you. Alright, wish me luck. That is not what I'd be doing if I were there. What do you want? Oh, nothing really. It can wait till later. For all we know, there might not even be a later. If you've got something to say, hurry up and spit it out. Is everything alright? Not feeling strange from being around Eden or anything? Is that what you came here to talk about? Actually, I wanted to ask you... Would you like to go and have coffee biscuits with me? What? Coffee biscuits. They serve them at the second serving in the Crystarium. Everyone's talking about them, so I thought that mayhap once we finished our work here, you and I could go there together? Let me get this straight. You came to talk to me about biscuits. Yes, they're light and crispy, and when you dip them in the coffee, they go all nice and squidgy. The only reason you're even interested in that in the first place is because everyone else is doing it. Can't you think for yourself? I do what I want, when I want. After all, the world could end at any moment. That's not going to happen. Not if I've got anything to do with it. Listen, Gaia, I understand what you're going through. Believe me, I do. But you mustn't lose hope. A new day will come, then another, and then another. Life's not so bad if you give it a chance. You'll see. Shut up. You think you know me? Even I don't know who I am. Until I find the truth, I'll never be free. Then we'll find it together. I've seen enough pain, enough loss. I don't want to see any more. And that includes you, Gaia. Why do you care so much about other people? What they have ever done for you? I'm sure you haven't forgotten how the Umorans treated you. The precious oracle of light, like a bird in a cage. And yet you act as if none of that ever happened. So forgiving, so selfless. You and your family brought back the night sky, and you finally had the chance to lead a normal life. But instead, you're flying around in a giant sin-eater, trying to turn a barren wasteland into some sort of paradise. And for what? I may not remember much of my past, but I'm fairly certain I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Out of morbid curiosity, I'll see it through to the end, but if you think that makes us friends, you are very much mistaken. Gaia. She is a very prickly person. I surmise that to keep Gaia waiting over long would only agitate her further. Yeah, seems that way. Seems that way. To defeat the deiform manifestations of both wind and fire, shall require every last mote of thy strength. That thou hast triumphed over such beings in previous encounters should be at the forefront of thy mind as we commence the summoning. Where are we going this time, Urianger? The place called Ashfall doth satisfy our requirements. I believe the fables speak of travelers sweltering beneath the blazing heat of the midday sun, while after nightfall slicing winds did tear at their cloaks. I see. Hopefully it won't be quite that bad when I draw up the elements. Reen, my dear, may I remind thee that to focus is not the same as to deny other thoughts? Whatsoever it is that troubleth thee, thou wouldst be better for acknowledging it. Yes, you're right, of course. It's Gaia that I'm worried about. That is well. May thy concern for her lend thee yet more strength. It's time. I'll begin drawing out wind and fire in equal measure. We'll only get one chance at this, so let's make it count. So we're mixing Garuda and Ifrit. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Okay. Good morning, Regson. How are you? Hopefully you're completely sluggish. Well, I mean, unless you've actually got things that you have to really get done quickly, sluggish isn't bad. Oh crap, I forgot to go get Geisel greens from somewhere. Oh well, maybe I'll go figure out where to get some here after this fate. I mean, they're not hard to get. It's just for whatever reason the merchant and mender here in Costa del Sol doesn't carry them. So I gotta find a merchant here or somewhere that does. I know a few in the main city hubs. It's not like I absolutely need them. I'm just waiting for this queue to pop here for the next Edensverse raid. Nope, not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. Oh, fine. This bird's getting in my way. Well, this is where things will get a little hairy. Get rid of the easy to kill targets first. Okay. No one else here that might be a vendor. I don't think there are, but let's go over to Wineport. So far, the queues have actually been pretty nice to us here tonight so far for the various Eden's Verse raids. How very annoying. Back to Limsa and we'll get some from there then. Let's see here. No, not you. Not you. Don't think it's any of them. Who? I think someone under this roof that I need to speak to. Is it you? No. Actually, wait. No. Details. Nope. Not interested. Well, crap. Still can't believe I actually ran out of Geisel greens, but... I must not have been paying enough attention, or maybe I accidentally sold them. I don't know. Probably I accidentally sold them. I still remember when those didn't stack, and so that would have been a couple inventory slots taken. No, they stack far higher than that, because that's 396 in one stack. They used to only stack to 99. But that was a long time ago. Yeah. Wait. When did they start stacking things beyond 99? That was either some 1,000 now, I do believe. For most items, it's now 1,000 stack. Now, the other side of that is that if you can't put up stacks on the auction house above 99. That's still the same. But I think it was either during Stormblood or Shadowbringers is when they raised the stack limits on most items, because people have been complaining about inventory space forever. I mean, the only game I can think of where they've complained more about inventory space than on Final Fantasy XIV is Destiny 2. But I mean, crafters are needing way too many materials, and gatherers were just carrying way too much crap. It was legitimately a problem. Not to mention the fact that as they keep introducing more classes, that's more gear that you have to have in your armory. Although I'm right now in Destiny 2, I need to go through my my vault and actually clear a bunch of weapons out because, well, I've nearly maxed my vault out with weapons, and I'm pretty sure I don't need all of them. I've got too many duplicates in there of weapons that don't need to be in there any longer. Come on, Q, you've been so good all night. Why do you have to start sucking now? I need one more. What just beeped at me? That's chilling, just beeped at me. Okay. Oh. Is there anything else in Party Finder at the moment? No, nothing else that's interesting. Wait, you're not one of the ones for the fate. Why am I fighting you? I wasn't paying a bit of attention, was I? No, no, I was not. Anyone want to join me in this queue for Eden's verse? Jesus Christ. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. But if at any point anyone wants to join me, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to have more people in the queue to try and get through these faster with. Well, hopefully, in theory. Okay. Roughly need about 18 of it. Why are you so bored and unmotivated? I really can't answer that question. I find myself asking myself that a lot sometimes too, so. And usually about the only thing I can do about it is just go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go do this. And just force myself to do something. Usually entails reading a book. Which then I get interested in the book and forget everything else exists for about, depending on the size of the book, 4 to 8 hours. Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of depends upon why you're doing that. Like, what questions are you asking yourself as you're sitting there? What kind of introspection are you finding as you're just sitting there? I mean, for me, why am I awake is never the question, because I absolutely hate sleep. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything, and sleep on top of all that. For you, it's the opposite. I mean, between all the games that are out there, all the books I want to read, all the stuff I want to write, all the stuff I want to watch. Usually my biggest problems is basically loneliness from wanting to do things with friends and just haven't done so in a while, or just complete indecision upon what I want to do. Well, I mean, usually there's a reason why our brain just is disinterested in everything. Like for me, loneliness leads to depression. Depression leads me to being disinterested in doing anything. And so I then have to go into periods of basically like forcing myself to do things until either that mood has lapsed, or usually what ends up happening is I finally get to do some things with some friends and that clears it up. I'm always over playing games, any game basically, with other people. I generally prefer playing games with other people rather than on my own most of the time, unless of course it's a game that just isn't available for multiplayer. Some of my best memories of life are sitting down in the community room in college. You need some tomes. Yeah, I can do some roulettes. I can put off the rest of doing the rest of Edenverse till another night.